All right, all right, all right. We got to talk about this. And there's a problem when it comes to Sony, PlayStation, period, like end of story, in my opinion. And that is the fact that every game they've made in the last like 8 years is getting a remake within 2 or 3 years. It don't make no damn sense to me. So let's get into the story. Let's talk about it. And we're going to cover a couple things. We got a couple things to talk about. So let's go. In my opinion, this Game Rant article is very, shall we say, misleading. Because in this, Days Gone fans aren't happy about another remaster detail. And what detail is that? Here, according to Game Rant, people are not happy at the fact that Sony did not provide an explanation as to why it decided to release Days Gone Remastered digital only. But regardless, it's disappointing news for gamers that prefer physical media. In my opinion, that is a very, very small, minute detail with the problem that Sony has going on right now. And that is the fact that they release games 2, 3, 4, not even 5 years later. In my opinion, if you're going to remaster a game, it's got to be at least 15 years old. If it's less than 10 years old, for the most part, you can boot into these older games, play them, and they still look fantastic. But this is a part of a much larger problem they have. One of them being Spider-Man here, right? Came out originally in 2018. For them to remaster it for the PlayStation 5 in 2020 and release it on the PC as well. I have no problems if they're going to upgrade. I wouldn't even call it a remaster, to have the ability to release it on other platforms such as a PC. But with that being said, it's less than 2 years removed, and they're going to remaster it and basically charge you full price for said game, and not, if it's been out a couple years, reduce the price a little bit. I will say, this Spider-Man game is freaking amazing. I did play the PlayStation 5 version. I hated how they changed the character model of Peter Parker from Peter Parker in the game to basically Tom Holland. It don't make no damn sense. The next one is the Uncharted Legacy. Like, what are we doing here? I get remastering potentially for a bundle, but for the most part, the games, even in the older state, upgrading them from the PlayStation 3 to a PlayStation 5, I can get behind a remaster. But basically doing PS3, PS4, PS5, it's just them grabbing at money. It's an easy way to print cash because it costs less money to remaster or remake a game than it does to start the game from scratch. The next one that everybody was complaining about was Horizon Zero Dawn right here. As you can tell, I have the original version of Horizon Zero Dawn. That's why to upgrade to the PlayStation 5 digital version is only $10 for me. But the money grabbing thing they did was the day before they announced this, they removed Horizon Zero Dawn from the store to force you to spend $50 instead of, I think it was $20 at the time, for the original version of Horizon Zero Dawn. Now, we are going to talk about the granddaddy of all remasters. This is ridiculous. That's The Last of Us. The Last of Us came out in 2013. It's an amazing franchise. I'll give it that. It has great narrative, great story. It is a masterpiece. The original version of the game came out in 2013. Just for them to basically, remaster it again. Let's see, where is it? I think it was like 2014. Last of Us Remastered, was released on PlayStation in July 2014. So not even, a year later, they released the remastered version for the PlayStation. Oh, PlayStation 4, that is. Okay. And then they turn around and remade The Last of Us in 2020 because of the TV show. So, 7 years removed from the original, right? The launch of the original, just to basically remaster it. Remake the game twice. So they did the remaster for the PlayStation 4 and then the remake for the PlayStation 5. But that's not even talking about The Last of Us Part 2 that came out and then turn around. Here's The Last of Us Part 2. Is a 2020 action adventure game developed by Naughty Dog. And I believe it's been remastered already. A remastered version was released on PlayStation 5 on 2014. Not even 4 years later, they released another version remastered for the PlayStation 5. If it came out in 2020, well, what are we remaking here? What are we remastering? It's them basically having the ability to print money, like I was saying. Now, this right here, the Last of Us franchise has to hold the strangest record in gaming. And you might wonder what that is. The Last of Us 2 remaster makes the franchise stand out in a surprising way, as it now has more re-releases than original games. Just think about it. The first one, second one. So that's 2 games right there. The first one got remastered or remade, whatever you want to call it, twice. And then the second one's already been made another time. That's 5 times the game has released, and there's only 2 of them. The Last of Us franchise has become known for its re-releases, while the remaster and remakes have always existed in gaming. How having less original games than remakes and remasters is a surprising statistic. No, it's a cash grab. That's exactly what it is. I would not be surprised if they end up remaking, remastering, whatever you want to call it, part 2 ahead of the release of the TV show's second season, which is supposedly based on part 2. Having the Last of Us franchise faction spin-off related, the number would have at least been evened out, but a cancellation means that fans will be waiting on The Last of Us 3 to see what happens. And even the game could be remastered years after its re-release as well. Like I said, I wouldn't be surprised. I know they were working on a online-based game where you could play PvP. In my honest opinion, this is just lazy. I mean, this is just as bad as Microsoft basically selling out the Xbox and pimping it out to the PlayStation, Nintendo, like they have been. All because of poor decision making on Microsoft's part with the Xbox Series S. Now, this is just straight lazy. Lazy. Let's go full screen. My final thoughts on the matter is, period, end of story. I got to get this out there. This is all a cash grab. This is pure laziness. And for the developer, the publisher, whatever you want to call them, to charge full price basically for a game and then turn around and have some of these guys tell us that they feel games should cost $100 when there's so many remakes, so many remasters, I'm calling bullshit. They should all be released at discounted rates, considering most of these games haven't even been out for 5 years, but yet they're going to crank out a remaster. In my opinion, if the game's been out longer than 15 years, warranted a remaster or a remake. It doesn't warrant it if it's less than 5 years and they're cranking them out like they did with The Last of Us Part 2, 2020, just to re-release it again in 2024. That's just pure laziness. Anyways, you guys, I want to hear your thoughts down in the comments section down below. Don't forget to mash that like button, subscribe. Every little bit helps out the channel immensely. Like I said, I saw that article about Days Gone being remastered, and it's been 6 years since it came out. I remember when it came out in 2019. Anyways, you guys, y'all take it easy. Have a great and wonderful day, and I'll catch you later. Bye-bye.